You ever work a night shift so quiet that every little sound starts to feel wrong? I thought I was just losing it until I opened that basement freezer in the Brooklyn Deli where I worked and realized some doors should never be opened after midnight. So don't skip this video, because who knows, maybe you've walked into a place like that too and just didn't realize it yet. I used to work overnight shifts at a 24-hour deli in Brooklyn. It was supposed to be just another summer job, stocking shelves, making sandwiches, cleaning the counter. But one night, I opened the basement freezer door and realized I wasn't supposed to see what was inside. This was back in 2018. I was 22, broke, and renting a small room in Flatbush. The deli sat on a quiet corner off Church Avenue, a little run down but always busy. The owner, Samir, was this older guy from Lebanon, strict but decent. He ran the place like a machine. His nephew Ali worked mornings, I worked nights. Night shifts were slow, mostly cab drivers, insomniacs, and drunk college kids buying sandwiches and Red Bull. The place had an upstairs counter, a small storage closet, and a narrow staircase that led down to the basement. That's where we kept the freezers. Two huge humming metal doors sat side by side. Freezer 1 for regular stock and Freezer 2 for meat deliveries. At least that's what Samir told me. Thing is, I never saw a delivery for the second one. Ever. He'd always tell me, "You stay out of that one, okay? Compressor's tricky." Fair enough, I didn't ask questions. It started one Thursday around 2 a.m. I was refilling the drink fridge when I heard it, a low thump coming from below, like something heavy had fallen in the basement. I went down to check. The stairs creaked with every step, and that damp metallic smell of cold air hit me halfway down. Both freezer doors were shut tight, but the sound came again, 3 dull, rhythmic knocks from inside Freezer 2. I froze. You don't expect noise from a locked freezer. I called up to Samir on the intercom. "Hey man, did someone leave something in the second freezer?" A few seconds of static, then his voice, irritated, half asleep. "No, stay out of there. Compressor leaking, you understand?" "Yeah, okay." I went back upstairs, but the sound didn't stop. It went on and on for another 10 minutes. Over the next week, it got worse. Sometimes I'd hear that same dull thumping, sometimes scraping, like a pallet being dragged. At first, I told myself it was just the machinery, but then little things started happening upstairs too. I'd stock milk bottles before my shift ended, and by morning, 2 or 3 would be missing. The CCTV camera that faced the basement stairs kept freezing between 1 and 3 a.m., always the same window of time. When I mentioned it to Samir, he got angry. "You do your job, I take care of everything else," he said, but his voice croaked slightly and not told me he was hiding something. One night, I decided to check anyway. It was around 2:15 a.m. The store was empty, so I went down to the basement with my flashlight. Both freezers were humming softly. I pressed my ear to Freezer 2 and heard a faint, muffled sound, like breathing. I stepped back, my heart pounding. "Hello?" I said quietly, half expecting my own echo. There was a pause, then thud. This time, closer. I swear I heard movement. I looked for the padlock. It was old and rusted, but not sealed all the way. The latch hung loose. That's when I saw something, on the floor near the door. A streak, dark red, half dried. I pointed the flashlight at it. It wasn't oil. It was thicker. It trailed under the freezer door and disappeared inside. Every instinct told me to go back upstairs, but curiosity or stupidity won. I unlatched the door and pulled it open. A wave of cold air hit me. My breath fogged instantly. The light flickered once, then steadied. Inside were a few old cardboard boxes stacked in the corner and something wrapped in thick plastic near the back wall. At first, I thought it was just meat, but the shape wasn't right. It looked like a person curled up, arms pressed to chest. That's when I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around and nearly screamed. It was Samir. He was halfway down the stairs, wearing a coat over his pajamas, his face pale. "What are you doing?" he barked. There was noise. I thought maybe... "Close it." His voice was shaking now. "Close it now." I backed away, pulled the door shut, and stepped into the middle of the basement. He came down slowly, looking older than I'd ever seen him. "You don't understand," he said quietly. "Some things are not your business." I didn't say anything. He put his hand on the freezer door, like he was apologizing to it. Then he turned to me and said, "You leave tonight. You don't come back tomorrow." I nodded. When I went upstairs to grab my backpack, I glanced at the security monitor one last time. The basement feed flickered on for a second, and I saw Samir dragging the plastic-wrapped shape deeper into the freezer. Then the feed went dark. I never went back. Didn't pick up my last paycheck, didn't answer his calls. A week later, I walked by that deli during the day. The front shutters were down. "Closed for renovation," the sign said. But I saw 2 NYPD cars parked out front and crime scene tape across the side entrance. I didn't stop. A few days later, I checked the local news. They mentioned a deli owner found dead in his basement. Heart failure, police said. No foul play suspected. They didn't mention the freezers. Sometimes, late at night, I'll walk past other delis. Every one of them has that faint hum from below, constant, mechanical, hypnotic. But once in a while, if I stand still long enough, I can tell the difference. A compressor hums steady. Breathing doesn't. And every now and then, I still dream of that sound, those slow, rhythmic knocks coming from behind a locked metal door, somewhere deep under the streets of New York.